From 1920 to 1933, there was a national ban on the sale, production, and transportation of alcohol. The Peacock Inn made use of this opportunity by being the most popular speakeasy in Princeton, called the Peacock Alley. The nickname speakeasy was used because such establishments in America were where people would speak quietly about their existence, and more importantly, it's where people, once they got inside, remained very quiet to keep the police at bay. Now, F. Scott Fitzgerald would have already left Princeton by the time Prohibition occurred. He was part of the great class of 1917. He actually never graduated from Princeton. He made it all the way to his senior year. F. Scott is a fascinating character, and if you're curious about Princeton, you definitely want to read This Side of Paradise, where much of the novel depicts portions of campus. More importantly, it depicts that bad boy lifestyle that we described earlier in the tour. F. Scott was named after Francis Scott Key, and his father was actually once an executive with Procter & Gamble. After his father was dismissed from Procter & Gamble, the family lived off F. Scott's mother's modest trust fund. That would help him go to preparatory schools in anticipation of his college education. When he was admitted into Princeton, he was eager to play on the football field, but the first day, his freshman year, he was actually cut from the team. But that did not keep him from being a loyal Tiger. He threw himself into becoming a writer for the Daily Princetonian and becoming a very popular performer for the Triangle Club. Because of his zeal for the extracurricular activities, his grades suffered, and when his grades were so poor that he was denied the opportunity to be the editor of the Daily Prince, he decided to drop out of Princeton and fight in World War I. He was stationed in Montgomery, Alabama, which is where he met Zelda, his famous wife, at a country club party. Initially, she'd refused to marry F. Scott because she felt he didn't have enough money, but after he sold This Side of Paradise to the Scribner family of Scribner & Sons, she did decide to marry F. Scott. After they were wed in 1920, they got married in New York City. They took the dinky train into Princeton. They went to see a McCarter production. They sat in the back. They laughed. They coughed. They were inappropriate during the theater. He then took her to Cottage Club, his eating club, where he did not tell anyone they had been married. He introduced her as his mistress. She danced on tables. She drank hard liquor, and they had open-mouthed kisses. Scandalous for the time. The Peacock Alley would have been an obvious next place for Zelda and F. Scott to entertain themselves. The bar inside opens at 5 o'clock, so if you've hit the tour in just the right time, you might want to go inside. Ask the staff if you can see the plaster walls of the original speakeasy, and just imagine F. Scott and Zelda sharing a cocktail with you or two inside.